Escrow scenario number 3, the erratic seller. This is the scenario where the buyer does everything they are expected to do. The seller, on the other hand, midway through the agreement, changes their mind and no longer wants to sell the property to the buyer. Let's walk through this. In order to create an escrow agreement, we can enter the app, come over to the contracts library, choose the contract we want to use, customize it to our needs, click create contract, provide a digital signature. After the request is mined, we will now have a contract we can use to execute a real estate transaction. This is the case of the erratic seller. So let's do all of the prerequisites. We're using the Algorand blockchain. The protocol relies on us to first make a deposit onto the blockchain in order to use a smart contract on chain. This is an incentive that prevents people from using the chain for pointless applications. We will now use another feature of the Algorand protocol that requires us to explicitly opt an address into receiving or holding a particular ERC20 or ASA or token. In this case, it's USDCA. Let's now send the first escrow payment or earnest money. This is the case of the erratic seller, right? So the buyer is doing everything that is expected of them. The buyer loves what they see. All of the systems of the house appear to be in good order. And the inspection period will end without the buyer pulling out because they are very excited about purchasing the property. But after the inspection period ends, the seller notifies the buyer or the buyer's realtor that they have changed their mind, that they are no longer interested in selling the house to the buyer. At that point, it is perfectly understandable that the buyer would like to have a refund of their earnest money. The way that can happen, now that the inspection period has elapsed, is the buyer can request arbitration. The way the smart contract works is each party can request arbitration, and the smart contract allows the other party to also say if they want to go to court or raise an arbitration flag on the smart contract as well. If both parties say they want to go to court or raise an arbitration flag, the money will get locked in the smart contract, at which point the only party that will be able to claw it out will be the stablecoin issuer. In the case of USDCA, this is the company Circle. If only one party requests arbitration without the other party doing so, the party that requested arbitration will be able to withdraw the funds from the smart contract after the free funds date. The reason why the free funds date is needed is because, let's say hypothetically that one party requests arbitration right before the closing date. You have to allow the other party a certain amount of time to also say if they want to go to court as well, to keep things fair. That's why you need these extension dates, like the free funds date and the inspection extension. So because the buyer is the only party that requested arbitration, the seller was respectful, right? They changed their mind. They were erratic. The buyer should get their money back. The seller was cordial in that sense, right? So the buyer can withdraw their money and all is restored, right? Balance is restored to the universe. So that is the case of the erratic seller.